Hey Farba, welcome. Lurking in the shadows, waiting for the stream. That makes sense. You were thinking it was starting like 2 hours ago. Waited for so long. Oh, sorry. Oh, so yeah, I had to change the start yesterday. How's my day? Had any chores? Yeah, as I said, I just had to take care of the cats. I also woke up quite late because I was staying up making the stronghold maps, and apart from that, not much else. Apart from just taking care of myself. The cats might cause some issues. You'll see if they are calm or not. I can't expect them to not be calm. Because it's not that long, like 10 minutes ago they were just running around, so you'll see. Bobby's fine, she's not having any issues. Seems like it's just completely gone now. She's just doing everything else before, so no lasting changes, it seems. Yeah, it's good. Apart from that, the cats are just very loud. Just from the very morning, just always they want something, attention, food, whatever. It's just always screech. It's the only solution. So we'll see if they are calmed down or not. I think they are on the window, so they might see the birds and then start whacking on the windows. In which case I'll have to throw them out. Alright, hello, welcome. So today we'll be playing, I'll be doing a variety stream. I'll be playing a game that has been gifted to me by Fairby, which is a game called The Forgotten City, which is a Roman-themed exploration game. I don't know anything about it, I never played it, so we'll be going into it. If you know anything about the game, you shouldn't spoil any major things to me, unless I ask for advice, just so you know. So let's take a look at it. I'll have to, just give me a minute. I'll have to switch this. It's this capture. Yeah. Will window capture work on this? No. Okay, game capture it is. No. Or is it? Yeah. Okay, where do we put the chat? I think it can be where it is currently. I am over the main menu though. To move ourselves a bit. shut off the music and let's go in. Is it too loud for you? I know the game can be quite a bit loud, apparently. Sounds good, okay. No, field of view slider needs to be vanilla. Okay, opted for epic. Axis objective guide. Secondary weapon is mouse wheel. Zoom is right mouse button. Photo mode is P. Visual style. Start a new game. Mystery adventure with multiple endings. It rewards thoughtful conversation exploration. I didn't catch the last of that. Present day. I think Fairby said not brute force. Okay. Well, we'll see.
Hey, you're alive. When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change. So, wanna tell me who you are?
It's present day, okay. So we pick a class, select your body type. So it's man or woman, I guess. Is that a woman? Yeah, sure. Skin tone. Sure. Player.
Well, it's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry to pry, but
I'm not sure.
any idea why you were floating down the river? What's the last thing you remember?
I was searching for ancient ruins. Archaeologist, that's the one Fairby recommends. Occasional insights into the ancient world. Soldier of military issue firearm. Only 10 bullets. Your time on the run from authorities made it quick. Okay, let's get the archaeologist.
Oh,
Doesn't matter, okay.
You're an archaeologist? Then you'll definitely want to hear this. I don't know if it's exactly what you're looking for, but there are some ruins just behind you. Roman, I think. I need you to go in there and see if you can find a guy named Al for me. He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped or injured or worse. I would have gone in after him, but he made me promise to stay here, no matter what. There's no way I'm leaving without him. So I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him. If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please?
Mind if I ask some questions first?
Of course. Sorry, I don't mean to be pushy. What do you want to know?
I guess you ask everything.
Oh, there's not much to tell. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Know what I mean? Oh, I'd rather not say if it's all the same to you. All right, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
Okay. Isn't Karen the meme lady who likes to file complaints for every store that she buys products in? Yes. Okay.
You're welcome. Always happy to help.
I think the chat is
Was
obstructing
there
that
anything
a
else
little
you
bit.
wanted to ask?
Let me just shuffle the chat. Where do we put it? I think here is fine. It's gonna be a little less readable for mobile phones, but yeah. Yeah, or I could put myself down as well. Who is
He's
Al?
the guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did. I thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess not. But maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case, you'll like him, I'm sure. Once you find him, that is. You really don't remember? We're in Italy. This river is the Tiber.
Tiber.
Not much, really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts. Al... What am I, an idiot? You could hike a long, long way in any direction and never find another soul. Trust me.
I kind of wish our character was narrated. I don't want to read all this when I'm asking the questions, but I guess I have to. It's all the questions I had.
Great. So you're ready to go look for Al?
Alright,
Thank
I'm
you.
in.
The entrance is just past those columns behind you. Please, hurry. Oh, and he left this here. But I think you'll need it more than I will.
Flashlight. Heavy duty battery powered flashlight. Quid pro quo. Enter the ruins. Okay, that's our objective, so inspect a sleeping bag. I also sleep on this not long ago. It smells of campfire smoke and sweat. Great. Is that food? Yeah, it's like food. Old wooden rowboat. Karen must have used it to rescue me from the river. Just a little bit of a lag there. So Tiber, hey. I wish Morris was here so we can ask
The ruins are just beyond those columns.
if this area looks like modern day Italy. I think it's more arid than this, right? Like, what about the trees? Do you have these sorts of trees near the Tiber? I don't think so. But I never was there, so I have no idea. I was in Italy as a kid, but it was a tourist destination, so it looked very different.
Those columns. Please, hurry.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my time. Raise your flashlight with middle mouse button. I'm trying. Oh, right. You just scroll the mouse wheel. Okay.
The ruins are just beyond those columns.
Yeah, I'm going.
Please,
I'm going.
hurry.
Got some columns. How do they look like? Usually you would... is this... Yeah, I think it's actually pretty good in terms of like indications. It's the column itself is usually not like it's not one giant piece, and it's just multiple pieces. So that's what a lot of the games get wrong. It's just you know, one solid object, but rather it's just assembled from different parts. It all has pretty varied nature. Yeah, it's possible. That's why I'm saying I don't know. That's why I would like Morris to be here so he can tell us. The wall looks a little bit wonky there. I mean, this massive, like this mountain would be here when they must have built that wall. It looks a little bit out of place. Actually, the biggest ruins I ever saw were in Olympia, in Greece, and there was a metric shit ton of ruins. I can show some photos later, but you'll see how it looks like when you enter an area that has like a lot of spread out ruins. These blocks, that looks like a straight up cyclopean architecture, but yeah, Roman structures like this, I think the column indicates like late empire, or maybe like 100 AD, 200 AD maybe. And then this, like at that point Romans probably used bricks more than this. This is like solid stone blocks, but whatever. Getting hung up on details. I don't want to miss anything, but I think so far we are pretty railroaded. Okay, huge cave. Hold shift to sprint. Yeah, I'm gonna take my time. Looks a little laggy. Yeah. For me it's not, but OBS has some trouble capturing it. They did opt for the best ones by default, but you can go for this. Maybe that's gonna help. But you know, last time we had problems with frame rate. It actually wasn't related to graphics. Just some games don't stream well. For me, it's... Is it better for you? I think it is better. Okay. Good. It still gets snagged a little bit, I guess. Yeah. Good compromise, I guess. So looks a little bit out of place, but yeah. Giant cave, like this kind of defies physics a little bit. Rocks usually don't hold like this too well. And we arrived at some sort of oracle looking structure, or is it? Yeah, like looks like oracle from CZ3. But this is how Roman temples would usually look like, or shrines, or even like Greek oracles would usually have a structure like this, but maybe larger. I'm not sure what it is, you know. Let's take a look at it. It has copper door, or might have been, I think bronze also catches this, patina. Good attention to detail. There is a backpack. Let's take a look at it. Backpack full of worn hiking clothes and empty food packets. Nothing valuable here, but still, it seems strange that Al left it behind. Okay. Let's read.
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten, all knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth and be judged. The virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal life in paradise. The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold, but in vain, for this shall be their final resting place."
Let's see if this works. I can drag myself down here. Hopefully there's not gonna be anything too important down here. It's messed up now. I'm not sure. She's home, but she might be doing something else. I think she's gonna go and visit one of her friends from high school. They're gonna have a sleepover, so I'm probably gonna be alone until Saturday. Maybe she's going tomorrow. I don't know.
Could an underground city have remained a secret for all this time?
Yeah, okay.
People have survived down there, against the odds. It seems there's only one way to find out. If I'm not back in an hour, I'm somewhere on the other side. Consider this an invitation. Or a warning. Al Worth.
Okay, good Neptune, and we are falling down into the water. We have breath meter. Spice Stone Walker. Find entrance to the secret city. Okay, let's take a look here. This is more like it. So it's a bit glitchy. It's like solid gold surface. Mosaics are fine. Marble floor. That looks decent. I don't like these pillars though. The top is fine, the middle part. I think you should be able to see the cracks. You would rarely have a pillar that's from one solid block of marble. That's a little bit smashed. Yeah, have some. Also have the beer. Good, I like the bricks behind the wall. It's what most Roman structures, especially in Empire times, were made of. Rather rubble. Just looks like rocks, maybe some bricks. But it looks like stones, like stone bricks. They made bricks from mud. You know, just regular bricks like today are made from that. If you find late Roman structures, you can see that in the when I'm gonna share the photos. You can clearly see what structures were Greek and which Greeks used mostly cut stone, and then which were Roman because they used bricks and they look very different. You can still see the difference today, so you can kind of see which buildings were built in which phase if the area has been settled by multiple peoples like Greeks and then later Romans, like Olympia was. But yeah, whitewashing the walls, that would be a thing. Do you know if the baths were this deep? I don't think so. This would be more like it, right here. But that is like, you could potentially have something like this for maybe Emperor's personal complex for like his courtiers, basically. You might have something similar to this, but not with this extensive gilding. Like this is an overkill. You would have some decorations for sure, but usually stucco and mosaics, and if it's gold then it's gonna be detail, but not a solid block of gold like this. The deepness, I don't think they would find much practical value. You know, it's much harder to actually build and maintain and do all this if you have this, I think. So they would opt for just something like this or even more shallow. So this is still more deep than you, so, you know. This would be completely sufficient, maybe even an overkill. But stairs into the water is good. That's what they would have as well. Not just, you know, today in a lot of pools you have kind of a ladder to go down. That's not what they had. Usually that would be stairs or like sloped inclines. You have a portal with some Latin inscription. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. Okay. It's a glitch. Visual one. It's okay. I like the blue and grey like this. This looks good. the wall. This doesn't though. That's a bit obscene. Yeah, it says archaeological insight. Ah, graffiti. Always remember they're watching. Yeah, actually, Romans. Like if you go where there are ruins that are well preserved, like Pompeii, for example, you would be able to find ancient graffiti, basically. But it's not graffiti like modern day graffiti, you know. It's just a completely different thing. But yes, it would be like messages like this scraped into walls of buildings. And so what happens is just some of them are pretty weird. Like you can find that for yourself if you're interested in that. It seems like nobody cares about the stream, which is good. Yet 5 viewers, now we are down to 2. Well, whatever. Solid gold statues, yeah. Quite a good detail on those. I'm not sure if that would be whisper. I'll work a segment out on this one. Another pool. Another roof similar to the one we saw before. Mosaic in the pool, yeah. Ancient Roman mosaic depicting a godlike figure turning man into gold. Is it what it's depicting? Young Roman woman in a pose of lamentation. Roman gladiator mid-stride. Make him flee. Good ceiling work. Bricks. This is how it would look like. In real life Roman ruins you would find these sorts of arches with bricks a lot. Just even more prevalent than this, but you could like say it's hidden behind the whitewash a lot, but yeah. Okay. She's begging for her life. This Bernard has had more of a bitter taste to it, but doesn't linger in the throat, so I like it. Yeah, it's like that is the dark beer from here. That's what they usually are like. You wouldn't find anything like this in like this huge complex in this freaking cave, like logistically speaking, that wouldn't be viable, especially considering we dropped a bunch of like stories down. But yeah, clearly we need to like take it with some grain of salt in terms of like it's a game and it's about exploration, and so actually having a real life place wouldn't probably do it. So that's why they went on with this. It's probably gonna have some fantasy elements as well. That's why we hear the ghosts. So yeah. Your military commander attempt to scramble away from something. A legionary in a state of horror. It's the Caesar's legionary just watching towers of salt materialize into existence in the distance while he's just entered the city from a road from Rome, you know. And at distance there's some sort of hill. We are probably gonna get there since I see some statues in there. The Roman woman who appears to be praying for help that never came. Okay. They deviated from reality with some things, but since it's all in a cave, they can be forgiven for it. Yeah, I mean, that's like, of course, it's not completely real, but that's, I'm saying, like, this is not what you would find, but yeah, shouldn't be snagging on the details all that much. Like, that is evaluating what's in the game in terms of how accurately it represents something you'd find in a regular site or in the ancient world, and then that is what the game is trying to tell as a story. So these are two separate things, and I do realize that. It's just, you know, I'm just telling you, like, yeah, of course it wouldn't be in here, like, this is ridiculous, but so I want to hear your knowledge, kind of like gameplay history special. Yeah, sort of, but you know, it's not up to me to come up with the material for it.
This.
In Scrap
Sorry
Tableau.
you had to find me like this, and worse. She'll suffer the same fate I did. I spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. And here there are only two options. Death, or that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now. And find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
Okay. Oh, ha, he's dead. Gone statue of an old man wearing modern clothing. This must be Al. But how is this possible? Well, just to tell you, like, it's a feat for him to actually hang himself like this. How would you climb it? I guess there, it's sort of like feasible. Like, anchor that rope, you know? There's three, like, you could hang yourself from like this branch here, much easier, or even like here, you don't need to actually drop like this. And what was he standing on? Like, attention to detail. Since I actually saw people who were hanged IRL, like, you would have either he would be standing on some sort of stone or something he would kick from under himself, you know, because, and I'm again getting bogged down in details, but you would expect him to be having something around him that he was using to balance himself on. Yeah, doesn't make any sense. It's staged. Okay. Let's go. We cannot get there, so. No, I'm just trying to make up for the fact I almost missed that freaking dead body. Just like, oh yes, totally innocuous stone tablet. What else do you have for me, game? Can I commit suicide? Probably can. I need to be careful. Is that slime? No. Okay. Young Roman woman in a state of panic. And of course, lit torches. The ultimate salt mine of all games, especially RPG games or even like this. Of course you wouldn't have this. Who would keep this? Like, torch actually doesn't burn for that long, but this looks like it. In terms of torches, you would usually not have like your usual RPG torches. It's just a stick with a flaming cloth on the end of it, and maybe some resin. That wouldn't burn for a very long though. Usually you would have more of a lamp thing going on, which this looks like it could be, where you would be having, but this is like way too much flame, but yeah, you would be having some sort of compartment that would hold liquid fuel or fat, and then you would have a knot like in candle, and that's what would cause the burning in a controlled manner. This is way too much flame though, this would burn out really quickly. But yeah, in that case you could have it burn for an extensive period of time, while a regular torch or something like this would burn out very, very quickly. But even still, like, who would be keeping this in here, right? That's besides the point. Some different mosaic here. Yeah, you like that tile, so this looks like something you could find. The brickwork from stones, I mean, yes, it is feasible for some buildings, depending on the location as well. But regular bricks would be preferred a lot of the time, even if there was stone around. Especially in the Empire times, which this for sure is Empire times, since we've seen the columns and we've seen the legionary statues which have Lorica segmentata. That's not something you would have in a Republican times. It's a tall building. Rubble. And it's just blocked into stones. Okay, it looks a little bit odd. So close now. There's another of these temple buildings. Roman man on his knees is begging for his gods for mercy. To his gods for mercy. Okay. He doesn't have hair. Or a beard, which, depending on the period, some Romans actually did keep beards. Hadrian was one of the big proponents of that. Portal. Okay. Let's go through the Stargate. Involuntarily. Yeah. It could happen. He didn't look old though. And we are in the past, Starry. Roman relief depicting a great circular portal and two women. I wonder who they could be. Main goal. Point of origin. Figure out how to return to your original time. Okay. So we are in the past. It's an interesting mosaic. Like Rubik's Cube, almost. Pattern. It's pretty good. It has that sort of like 3D feel to it. Which, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see this somewhere. In Roman ruins. Braziers. Popular. But yeah, again, like the burning like this wouldn't be necessarily done like this. You would have some sort of vessel beyond it for the fuel, like keep it burning for longer. This would burn out very quickly. And we are in the same spot as we were in the past, I think. Or in the past, in the future, in the present. Stranger.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
I've just come from the future. You speak English?
I'm speaking Latin. You are too, although your accent's a little strange. Oh, I see what you did there. Changing the subject like that. Nice try. But I'll ask again. Who are you, and what were you doing in the shrine? Yeah, you know, agricultural goddess of springtime? You're not from around here, are you? And you've just done it again. You're a sly one, aren't you? One more time. Who are you, and what were you doing in that shrine?
So you could either lie or tell the truth. He doesn't seem hostile. Already better dialogue than Cyberpunk, of course. It actually reflects what you pick, and if you try to avoid a subject of what he was talking about, amazing.
No idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait. Are you a bit, you know, not right in the head? That's
Things
all right,
very
friend.
insane.
Everyone's welcome here. We sort of lose track of the date down here, but it feels like the beginning of spring to me, so I'd say early March? It's 817 AUC. Sorry, you look confused. 817 years since the founding of Rome. Which part of the empire are you from exactly?
Yeah,
CE? No idea what you're talking about.
I don't know why I'm asking him that. He wouldn't know.
Confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So let me make this nice and simple for you. Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine. Not laws, law. There's just one, the golden rule, and the punishment for breaking it's, well, it's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you coming? When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now.
Okay, there's a rope across this. Also, they should be freaked out by my flashlight. Denarius, okay. 341 schmeckles. Let's go up. Even more up. Pouch. Nice pottery in chalice. Again, this is more like an offering vessel rather than a brazier. This wouldn't really let you, like, you would basically have a campfire on top of this. So that means you would refuel it very often. Instead, this looks like an offering vessel. You would pour like wine or olive oil into it as an offering to the gods. Or even the Romans did do animal sacrifice as well. What's this place? I should have been following Galerius, but I just kinda loot, yeah. You have loot. I just kind of went off on my own. I guess these ropes you can use eventually for like going around. I would appreciate if they did some sort of anchorage to the rocks at least, instead of the rope just ending inside the rock. It's really crazy, maybe, yeah. Just, yeah, sure, lead the way, and then just wander off on my own. Okay. I cannot walk on the flower bridge. That's actually bad. Am I stuck here? This cave is ridiculous. And yes, I think we have a woman's noises, so unfortunately the coins weren't very clear, but that's fine. What is there? Okay, I managed to soft lock myself already, it seems. We'll see, maybe I'm just bad at platforming. Yeah. Okay. Do we try to jump across? There is a pouch there. You know, just... You can survive some falls, okay. Yeah, I was more into getting... No! Oh, oh! Fuck. Well... I don't think we saved the video game. Does it mean we have to restart? Probably have to talk to Galerius again. Do we? Yes. Of course. Hey, I'm new here. Or is he? Yeah. T.
So
I'm gonna go through.
can't have you disrespecting the gods by accident, can we? But
No. I lied by accident. No. Go away. Load the video game. Yes. No. Yes. I'm sorry. I just need to pick the options carefully because otherwise I'm gonna pick what I don't want. Oh, I should be saving the game if I'm doing some platforming because I'm just awful at it.
You know, it's, but you live, not it's, but so that, follow me. When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now.
The autosaves are often pretty good. Yeah, not good enough in my case. Take the money. I would need kind of a special autosave. You know. Do we go across like this? Yeah, we did that before, so let's do it. And I want to get on there because there's something, it's just difficult to reach it, I guess. Do you need to jump from up higher? Maybe you do. I have no idea. Let's save the video game. It almost worked. Okay, what was that? How? It's frustrating. Can you like grab that or something? I was almost there. I wish there was just a simple way to get up there, but no. Also, is there something here? This is yeah, clearly supposed to be. It's strange. This is not an aqueduct. It's supposed to be a road, I guess, like a viaduct. It seems massive, like in terms of how much labor and cost it would be associated with it just for a simple walkway. But again, this cave is all kind of ridiculous, so shouldn't really judge that. I need to get there. I did manage to kind of get higher at one point. How did I do that? I'm here because I want to go up this thing so I can get my schmeckles. I'm pretty sure the bridge is supposed to carry me, right? Just kind of bad at life. So do we try to rush over? It could work, right? Nope. Nope. Well, that is something. I just cannot reach it. And now I'm inside the rocks. Okay. Made it. I think it's a bait. Like, I cannot cross this, right? Maybe you need some sort of item to get across. Because it seems like the bridge should be crossable. With the plants, there are even some freaking butterflies on it. Maybe jump on that? No. It's the greed. I see there's something, even though I have no idea what the money is gonna be useful for. Still want it. Okay. Fine. Cannot have it. No. Yeah. I mean, I see a thing, but I cannot get to it. Not good in old mythology. It's not good today either, even though money is the god that everyone worships now. It still isn't a virtue. What's the video game greed do is different. I'm pretty sure we are going the right way. Just without Galarians. But I don't want to follow an NPC. It would be horrible for exploration reasons. Hey Cloud, look. All the senators of the Roman Empire, how are you doing today? I'm doing good. How are you doing, Cloud? Let's take a look. Nope. Can you get down there? Yes, you can. Okay, more statues. Oh, someone alive.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far? Ah, another stoic, perhaps. We all need something to help us through times like these. We've all been where you are now. I remember when I first arrived. I used to lay awake at night contemplating the big questions. Why am I here? Is there a way out? What is the Golden Rule, and who or what is responsible for it?
Golden Rule. Is it that everyone who breaks it turns into gold?
I don't think anybody does. But I'm happy to share with you what I've learned.
It is. Cloud has just finished work. Did my groceries and now it's other human beings for a week. Yeah. Good to have some free time. So Easter is gonna be enjoyed. Not gonna be visiting anyone, I guess.
Here, in this place, the magistrate has me earning my keep by cleaning and pruning the gardens. It's not quite how I expected my life to go. I used to live in a lovely villa on the banks of the Tiber. I was even betrothed to a handsome young man from a prominent family. But long hours of menial labor for the good of the community has its own charms too, I suppose. Oh, much the same way as many of the others. When the fires came to Rome, 7 months ago,
I need to move myself a
my
little
family
bit.
and I fled for the Tiber, hoping to escape on a barge. We were among the fortunate ones with enough coins for passage, but unfortunately, there were a lot of desperate people, and they boarded before we could depart. A scuffle broke out, and I was pushed overboard. The last thing I remember was the water, rising up to hit my cheekbone. I woke up by the river, near that shrine, and stumbled across this place.
So it's a mythical city, I guess. Those people end up here, but they are dead. Like everyone who ends up here is supposed to be dead, right? So it's sort of like that. At least that's what it seems to me, but who knows? Hey Block, welcome. I forget the name of this place. Yeah, I don't know how they call it. It's just the Forgotten City.
Oh, that's all right. I'm sure it's all part of God's plan for me.
Gods. Isn't it like singular? Like, what are you talking about? There are multiple gods, right? Yeah, okay, we even have the
Oh,
option.
yes, of course. A slip of the tongue.
Slip of the tongue. She's full of shit. It's a modern person who's stuck here as we are. For sure.
If you like. I'm afraid not. Although, I did once hear someone gossiping down at Aurelia's tavern about a possible way out. I don't put a lot of stock in such rumors, but if you're desperate and wealthy, you could look into it, I suppose.
Is it a
If that
quest?
doesn't work, then I suppose we're all stuck here until the gods decide our fate.
65 CE. Well, yes, but that was not when Christianity became endorsed yet. You would be thrown to the friggin' lions for it.
I hope it works out. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. I think about those words a lot. I'd like to think that if we all love our neighbors as ourselves and do to them as we'd have them do to us, then we'll all be fine. But on the other hand, I was always taught the intent of man's heart is evil from his youth, and that all of us are born with a tendency towards sin. And that's where I get stuck. Is it true? Are we born with a tendency towards sin? If that's true, then sooner or later, things are going to end badly for all of us down here. Unless, of course, there's some kind of divine intervention.
Sir Christian.
Please keep that to yourself. I know you're not from around here, but things are very difficult for us right now. There was a terrible fire in Rome last year, and our emperor decided to make us his scapegoats. There were executions.
Yeah, damnatio ad bestias, yes.
It was horrible. Oh, thank you. You have no idea how much I appreciate that.
No reason to rat her out.
All right, well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming months. And if you ever...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no.
That dude is just gonna suicide.
No. Ulpius, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Please, Ulpius. Help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. I don't know what to do.
Figure out how to stop
I've
Ulpius
never
from
had to
killing
deal with this
himself.
sort of thing. Please,
talk
you
to him.
need to talk to him.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. And please, choose your words carefully.
Oh, I cannot save, okay.
Let me guess. You're going to lecture me on how suicide is a crime against the Empire. I screwed up my life. That's what's wrong. I borrowed money, and when I couldn't pay it back, I wound up in debt bondage. I'll be stuck slaving away for that Culus Cumulatis Malleolus for the rest of my life. I am out. Wherever you are, Scintillum, my love. I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no!
Ah, he's done. Well, I'm not sure what the other options would do. They didn't seem reasonable to me.
Oh Lord. That poor lamb. Well, I suppose it means suicide isn't a sin under the Golden Rule. So I guess that means whichever god is responsible for it. It isn't mine. That was not your fault. There's no way you could have given him what he wanted, moments after you arrived. I'll have to let everyone know what happened. And I guess Malleolus will have to clean up the mess in his villa. It's of his own making, after all. And I'd best pray for poor Ulpius.
Well, he's dead. Sure. Egyptian obelisk. I think the Romans did get a bunch of stuff stolen and as part of triumphal, I suppose, of war, but yeah, this would actually be something you could load up on a galley, but still wildly impractical. Rather you would just take valuables instead. Somebody removed a plaque from here. Need to find decipher the meaning of the obelisk. This side actually has Roman things. Doesn't seem right. Let's go around first. I think this is where we arrived from. Up here. It locked Great Temple door, okay. Guess I went here too early. I can explore. It's fine. Okay, let's take a look this way. Locked door, okay. It's another pathway. Do we follow it, or I kind of feel like we should go back and just do it gradual. Like we are getting around most of the city this way. I don't think that's a very good idea. So I think there is also combat in this game, and that could be pretty bad. We'll see. I'm also wondering, like, could we save that dude? I think I've taken the best option out of those, like the most reasonable one, but maybe the game just arbitrarily decides that you should be picking something that seems like bullshit and it would just certainly work. Forgotten combat, yeah, you'll see. Because all the other things you could have said to him, if you say that to a real person who would be standing on an edge like that, he would totally go. Hey Kerry, welcome. But what do I know? Right. I'm still tempted by this. That's the purpose of it though, right? I need your help. Well, I don't think I can get to it. Save the game. Have you found yourself a nice large castle in 9x9? No. There are no 9x9 blocks. This is a Lugdunum map, as you can clearly see. It's not, or Lugdunum, it's actually worse than Lugdunum. It's not conducive to 9x9 blocks or other standardized designs, like actually good designs either, so it's all very scrappy. Before I managed to get sort of up there, but then we fell. I don't know how I did it that. So I'm tempted to do it. There is some dosh up there, even though I don't know what mana is for in this game. Oh, really? Hey, how did I do that? Glitched it when you do that. Okay. So it's not supposed to happen then. Right. Well. Could also go that way. I don't know where Galerius went, but let's take a look in here. Oh, there's someone alive here. Okay. Down for a.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his
Mentions of
threefold
sense of one, yes.
braying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like
Oh,
a deer
it's
over a
stealing,
contract?
right.
You scare away my customers.
Legionnaires banner from the first
Entrance.
Italica. This was
Imitate
belonged to
their previous
Horatius.
lives, but they are ignorant.
Type of ancient Roman
They
shield
said
known as scutum.
You're
Yes.
in a world of
They have the
horror.
handle correctly, I think. Yeah, they do. It's just you would also have some. I think there is a part missing from this mechanism for holding it. Apart from that, you would have, yeah, I think they are missing a layer of leather from the front as well. This seems like it's just wood. What else do you have? Iron rim. It's correct. Middle. It's correct. And braces reinforcements, yeah, you would have that because otherwise it wouldn't be too sturdy. It seems a little bit thin. Which I think the main thing that's missing is the front leather part. Bottle examine. Garum. Fermented fish sauce uses condiment. It gives a faint salty aroma. Well, that's where it's wrong. Garum is actually the, as we talked about previously, garum is actually the whole thing. Like, it's even solids. It's not just the sauce. Sauce would be liquamen. Garum is just, you know, gunk as well. Ancient Roman cavalry helmet and an old enclosed face mask and plume made of dyed horsehair. Yes, they're fond of masks like this. It's actually something that's not too well known, so good on their part. This dude just drank a bunch of garum. And there was like 15 denarius in there. I'm not gonna bother stealing. A lot of fish pieces in garum. Yeah, I mean, garum is just the liquid as well as the solids from making of liquamen. Which liquamen is just the liquids from garum. And that's your fish sauce, or yeah, they would call it like liquamen. Garum is actually even with the solids, so you could still use it for like a meal with bread or anything. It's just, you know, disgusting. And I mean, for a modern person, like, sorry about fermented fish guts or even like octopus innards, you know, all these things. Like, no. You had several grades of garum as well, ranging from luxury to poor people's garum, and they would be made with different ingredients. And also different cities along the Mediterranean would develop their own brands of garum, and they would be very protective of it. But the main part, which was the most important, is the liquamen, the sauce or the flavoring itself, because that's what would be used for like a spice, basically, even, you know, even though it's a liquid form, of course. Let's take a look here. Galerius' chest is 7 denarii. Prototype, inspect. Looks like someone has been hired to work on a prototype zipline. Okay. Yeah, that's what those ropes are gonna be for, eventually. There's a person. I'm gonna wait until we talk to her. It's probably a tavern. Clothes. Does this look like like a housing area for Romans? Yeah, it kinda does. Maybe even a little bit too fancy for this. But yeah, this is pretty good. Did that statue just move his face? No. Getting paranoid. Examine the vase. Strange old vase painted with geometric shapes. It's definitely not Roman. I wonder where this came from. It definitely doesn't look Greek. I think Celts, most likely. Carving of a lion. It looks Egyptian. Okay. Or yeah, I mean, it could be Egyptian. Yeah, Legendary Raider, welcome. It's not even hollow. It's supposed to be like clogged up, I guess, with some debris or something. Out here. I guess that's what they went for. Rufus's chest. I'm not gonna steal money. Incomplete note. This is your final warning, sinner. Okay. Stone carving. Oh, and I think they do move, right? Yeah. It's kinda creepy. Stone carving of a phallus. Folk charm. Thought by the Romans to have divine protective properties. Yeah. That is accurate. Oh yeah, this is how Roman bread would look like. They have that spot on. This is more like it for light source, by basically a lamp with some sort of vessel for holding liquid fuel or fat, and then a knot. So yeah, pretty good. This is pretty good. Panaqua dutum or something, right? Yeah. I don't know exactly, I just know the shape and ingredients, but yeah, like, I don't know how they call that. Stone desk, a circle stone desk with a symbol of fish carved into it. It looks like it might be religious in nature. Possibly. What is it? It's strange. Not sure what it's about. The spoon utensil is a little bit too fancy though. You would be having wooden utensils for most people. And this looks like a... Actually, I guess like middling strata. It's definitely not the poorest. So the Romans actually had like insane amount of societal strata, by the way. Ink jar examine. Ceramic ink jar. The ink appears to be made from soot and water. Yes. Okay, let's talk to the lady. Olivia.
Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world,
Yeah.
so this place accepts all the souls. But it does not notice the crowds that come.
They must have done some research, at least. Looks like they've done quite a few things right, which is good.
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives. They never do. There is only a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. Help me? You cannot help me. I have seen things. A pattern, a terrible pattern. It is better for you if you remain ignorant. Pandora's box must stay closed. I'll say no more.
Figure out why Olivia is acting strangely.
The bloodless shadows. This is their punishment. The newly arrived are ignorant of the road before them.
Galerius for Magistrate, counter by. I would rather drink your Aurelius special brew. Fountain, yes.
You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone that always returns.
She talks about Pandora, she talks about Sisyphus. I think she's very familiar with Greek mythology for some reason. Is she a peasant? Like, no, she actually... Her clothes look like she got here and then... She kinda doesn't take care of herself much, but...
Sisyphus,
she might have been a higher strata. Model arena. Archaeologists inside a small wooden model of an arena, possibly Verona Arena, which was completed in the 1st century and is still in use today. Yeah. Is it wood carving? Yeah. Again, metal utensils. Cups. This is from glass. Glassware. Romans did and could and did use glass, but it was expensive. Oh yeah, you have sneak mode, I guess, yeah. Okay. Virgil's chest, no. I'm not gonna steal money from anyone. Let's take a look. I know this is taking a long time, but this is what it's gonna be about, so... If you expect me to just rush through it, this is not gonna happen. Ink jar, yeah. Surgical tools, yeah. Some bronze forceps and shears. Yeah, okay, so this is a surgeon's area, I guess. Examine key to the chest in the Shrine of Apollo. Yeah, okay, we took that, but that's pretty accurate. Romans, like, locks, complex locks were hard to pull off in ancient times. I tried. Yeah, at least someone does. As I said, not much viewership for this, but it's to be expected, I guess. It's for every variety stream, we have very few viewers. But yeah, complex locks wouldn't be possible in ancient times for a lot of people. Especially until like late Empire, we wouldn't have anything remotely as complex as some of the fantasy locks in most games. Quest tracking tip. To see your objective markers for a given quest, click on the eye icon beside it. Learn about the Golden Rule, which Magistrate Sentius in his villa, permanent solution figure to stop Ulpius from killing himself. Well, he did kill himself already. So that's dumb, I guess. Mushrooms. Dough. A rudimentary dough. It looks like it has been well loved. Yeah. But this is something that a child would probably could have access to. It's rudimentary, as it says. This looks like a poor person's lodgings, but that's what would happen with insulae. You would have the proper flat apartments, and then on top of it you would have people just ramshackling, building ramshackle things like this on top of already standing buildings, which that's why it floated regulations, and that's why Roman buildings were very prone to, one of the reasons why they were very prone to structural hazards like collapses or even fires, because shit like this. Someone put a broom and a vase over this person. Lararium, yeah, that's a shrine for the ancestors. Small household shrine where ancient Romans offered daily prayers for protection. They would even... Romans were freaks. They would even keep death masks of their deceased relatives. Lararium spam, yeah. So, you know, when some of your relatives would die, or even sometimes when they're still alive, they would take wax or other material like that and make an imprint of their face. And then the relatives would use that in a shrine in their own Lararium. Just one everyone knows you need 100, yeah, clearly. Morganum Herbrack. Wooden rag containing various dried and ground substances. Yep. Lucretia's chest. No, I need to steal stuff. Another Lararium. Yeah, you see, they are spamming them. They know what's good for them.
Ixion turns.
Was it common for people to have oil lamps like that in their homes? Depending on your wealth, yes, but you wouldn't leave it on for like always, especially if you're not at home at the moment. You would be doing it, but when you are actually there, and save it for like night time, you would be using daylight light to do things, but usually you would have occupations during daytime anyway, so you wouldn't be using fuel. But later on you will, because you needed to see. But for you know, it's expensive to run it all the time, so kind of be saving up on it if you could. Tavern keg, a large wooden beer keg with built-in cup holders. I mean, I could see this being a thing, but beer... some Romans in late Empire would be drinking that, but it was way, way less common than wine. And the tankard looks a bit odd to me. I don't think they would be using something like that. They're more like cup people. Like this, rather than tankards. So, fruit, bread. Dice Star. Is it a minigame? Metal Dice Star designed to stop people from cheating when rolling dice. Clearly cheating must be a problem among most Romans. Yeah. Dice were very popular. And also gambling was forbidden for most parts of the year. At least during Republic. Later on it might have been changed a little bit, the rules, but it was also widely ignored as a rule, but common Romans wouldn't want their neighbors or people around them to know that they are gamblers, unless it was Saturnalia or other festivals. These carrots are purple, as they were before modern orange carrots were cultivated. Okay. Graffiti. The only way out is whoever wrote this interrupted, perhaps tragically. Okay. And yeah, also weighted dice were despised.
Beautiful.
Beer vat. Large vat for brewing beer. There's a layer of small insect drowning on the surface. Yep. I mean, you probably wouldn't be doing it just like this, but definitely some sanitary issues could be present in the process. But again, beer not the most known Roman beverage. Soldiers were kind of fond of it later, but that's because a lot of them were of barbaric origin. So, you know, that's why. Cheap way to improve the gas rations. Well, it's not cheap. Till that, Lararia are not cost effective, it's just levy, and labor is not associated with it. There are white, red and yellow carrots too, I believe, but not any orange ones. Yeah, I think so as well. The white ones were the most common, I think. It's like a turnip sort of deal. So purple
Exotic.
actually seems like it's the most outlandish example, but yeah. Ceramic bowl, archaeologists insight. A ceramic bowl full of urine, which ancient Romans used because of its ammonia content to wash and bleach their clothes. Yes, that is correct. They also used it for other things, like for medicine and even like cosmetic treatments and washing their face against aging effects, you know, things like that. But usually you wouldn't be collecting just any urine from the street unless you are doing it on industrial scale for like dye works. Gladiator's shield. Looks like Domitius was carrying his shield with him when he arrived in the city. Yeah, looks like something Gladiator could use. Graffiti. Theophilus had an orgy with 4 girls here and disappointed all of them equally. Yeah, good for him. Training demo inspect. Looks like Domitius has been using this to train. I wonder what he's been training for. They wash their hair in it too. Yes, hair and faces, and also used it for all sorts of medicine or cosmetics as an ingredient and made into a paste and all that. Another lararium, yeah. As I said, they were fond of them. So you would see quite a few, even like every household would have at least a small shrine. Later on in the Empire, it might have been also replaced or incorporating a little shrine to the Emperor, because the cult of the Emperor has become godlike in the Empire. And it's also one of the reasons why polytheism was eventually rotated out. Part of the reason was just getting more empire authority to the emperor rather than the pontiffs. So that's also one of the reasons behind it. Also eroded authority of the that was not strict church, but the I guess ecclesiarchy, because emperor was taking more and more power by becoming the embodiment of God like that. Yeah. Old chest, denarii, fletched arrows, bottle of wine. Possible last bottle of wine in the city, okay. Do we have an inventory? Yes. Denarius. Plural denarii. Ancient Roman coin made of silver. Yep. How do the rims look like? Yeah. You see this? Right here? What do you think that is? Do you think it's a fault in manufacturing? Or is it used? It looks used quite a bit. Well, it's shavings. People, what they did was you had a bunch of coins and then some people would take some sort of implement and scrape off edges of coins. And that's what they would do so that they could then take the excess silver and sell it off, or, you know, it was actually a huge crime to do this. Even in like medieval times, it was one of the worst things you could do. And people tried to fix this by implementing all sorts of things to help prevent doing this. Yeah. And that's why modern coins actually have the rimmed edges with like, how do you call it, like incisions all along the edge. That's one of the reasons for it. That's one of the methods adopted. And also it depended a lot on the material. And actually it's quite cool to, ancient like medieval and early medieval British coins were actually made in a way that you had a coin that was, I don't know the exact names, I don't remember that, I read it in a book, but I haven't read it in ages, but I remember the main component of it was you had one coin that you could essentially break into pieces, and so you could break it into 4 pieces which would have equal value like in together with the coin, and so people could just easily shuffle that currency like that. And the only problem with that, it created sharp edges, and that's why that's not a good idea. But it was a thing they did, and it worked quite well for them for a time. But then they started to have issues like this, where people would shave off coins as well, which is pretty bad. And I was looking at our inventory for some reason. Fletched arrows, wooden arrow with well-made fletching and piercing tip. Yeah, I don't have a sense how long this is, but looks fine. What about the amphora on this? It's a strange cork Looks like the bottom. It's okay. We've got inscribed stone tablet, which is the one we found before. This is a thick tablet. I wouldn't want to carry this with me. That's for sure. And we have 563 denarii. 1/4 comes from... Yeah! Yeah. I think so. I didn't have to carry it very far. But I have it in my pocket. I don't have legs, by the way. It's also a thing. Sneaky. Sneaky. Not sneaky enough. This child. I think this is the way to the city. I shouldn't be here yet. We should be going back to the favela. Yeah, this is the green area we saw before. What is it? Goose? Honk? Untitled Goose Game? Yes? Goose eggs. A bunch of goose eggs laid by the city. Take it. Where is the goat? Can you talk to the goat? Nope. Some fruit. Cabbage. Go this way. I want to go back before we proceed with this. There is a chest there. The greed. I need it. Okay. I don't know what the money is for at this point, but you know, it's a thing you can get. Another chest. Fishes. I hope it's not piranhas. Okay. Can I jump on you? No. Not this again. Well, there is a crate nearby. What are these butterflies? What do they mean? Because I saw them before on the other thing as well, you know? It just didn't do anything for me. Do you need some sort of item to activate these? To get up there? Because that's the same thing that happened with the previous area, which had something to collect. Yeah, I guess we have to have something to get there. Yeah. They are kind of glowing, so they are hard to miss, even for myself, as blind as I am. No Gothic secret inside a waterfall. Okay. I'm thinking if I could just cheese it by going here, but no. Might be useful later on. Okay. Is the money useful? Probably is. Is this... Where does this lead? This is getting a little bit complicated. Was I here before? No. And fine. And it's not the last bottle since I already found one before. This is a maze. No, it's from Livia. Somebody cryptic, almost poetic rambling from Livia. This place is called Accursed. Here, Tydeus offers his innards to be torn. Stretched over 9 fields, you Tantalus cannot catch the drops of water, and the 3 grass pad eludes you. You, Sisyphus, attack on purpose, or pursue the stone that always returns. Ixion turns and follows after himself and flees, and the 49 Belides who dared to plot destruction of their cousins, their husbands fetch again with insistent labor the water they have lost. Next page. Is there a next page now? Bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. So this is the house of the woman who was downstairs in the favela. It's where she lives, I guess. Amazing. Clearly. This is... I was here before. I'm getting lost. Okay, go this way. This might be climbable if only they could support my weight. Okay, so yeah, we need to get lighter somehow through the flashlight. Yeah, I guess we could use flashlight so that we don't miss anything. Yep. That leads back. Let's take a look here. Stone disc fish again. Loaf of bread, examine. Partially eaten loaf of bread. It's still fresh, whoever owns it.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
I stole it by accident. Back to the shrine and use his portal again. No. Following the magistrate instead. I haven't even talked to him. I don't know what the golden rule is. I should be loading the game. We have some autosaves, but they're probably pretty bad. What's the time? Yeah, I didn't mean to steal it. Yeah, I didn't follow Galerius. What are the issues? Oh yeah, it's just this. Okay, at least I know where to go now, so we can get through this part quickly, and then I'm gonna save it again. Okay. Have you played Untitled Goose Game? No, I haven't. I just know of its existence, and I don't think I would spend money on that. Just off, like, why? I find it very, very, very primitive and stupid. I don't enjoy it. It's like sort of like Neighbors from Hell, but even worse. Like the Neighbors from Hell was kind of fun when you are like very young and stupid kid, but for like an adult, I don't know. I would rather just throw my money into the void rather than live with myself having bought that. Yes, I've watched a little bit. And hello, Lauren Dancer, welcome. Read the note. We are going the right way. This is where we stole the bread before, right? Somewhere here. Yep. There are multiple places to go, I guess this way? Yeah, okay. Let's make a save. I'll inspect the bread again. Whoever owns it probably hasn't finished with it. F, leave item, okay. Wooden carving. Wooden carving with a symbol of a fish carved into it. Looks like it might have been... Yeah, this is a different one, it's on wood instead of stone, and it has... This looks like Greek alphabet. It is. I just cannot read squiggles, so I cannot tell you what it is. I found a key before, but this is not the key to this, I don't think, right? No. There's so many places to go. The tunnels are kind of sprawling. It's this... Oh, this is an Odeon. Or a Roman theater. I think that's what it looks like, at least. Looks like we should be going here first. Yeah. Doesn't look comfortable. We don't have the thing yet. Do we go back into the favela? I think we do. I'm dead. No, I'm not. Do we heal automatically or what happens? I just saw that this is a place you can go, so I tried it. Yeah. So what happens with health?
You're here. I'm so glad you decided to
Aurelia,
visit.
okay.
I'm Aurelia, and I hope I'm not being too forward.
You should regenerate slowly, okay.
The moment I laid eyes on you, I was intrigued. There's a light in your eyes I've never seen before. A certain learning and sophistication. Ugh, coming on a bit strong, don't you think? I take back what I said. Suddenly, I don't find you so intriguing anymore.
No, those options were good.
So we can at least do business. So, what brings you to my tavern? Ugh, let it go. Nothing's going to happen between us. You know, normally I'd expect you to buy me a drink before asking if I want to get out.
Ask
of here.
Jade about that. I don't know.
I guess that went right over your head. Never mind. As a matter of fact, I do know a way out.
Suicide,
I'm
yeah.
happy to tell you all about it, but this is valuable information we're talking about, and I don't just give it out like some cheap oracle. So, how badly do you want it? Is it worth, say, 1,000 denarii to you?
I have 1,000 denarii.
Simple. It's a one-way trip, and I'm not ready to go just yet. I like my life here. One day, maybe, but not now. I think of it this way. I have something of value, and I'm willing to share it for a price. That's not unethical. That's just good business. Now, do you want it or not?
This isn't a scam.
If I took your money without giving you what I promised, I'd be breaking the golden rule, wouldn't I? And I have no interest in doing that. Well, I can't tell you too much, or you'd figure it out for yourself. But I promise you, you'll never have to spend another hour in this city ever again. What's the matter? Can't afford it? Well, perhaps you could take out a loan. I understand Malleolus has lent money to others, on occasion. I just try not to think about it. Drink helps with that. As the saying goes, to drink is human, so we drink. Certainly, for 10 denarii. Have you met Livia? She used to do my hair, until one day she just snapped. This place has that effect on people. Now, she just stands around, caked in filth, muttering nonsense to herself. It's a real shame.
I am
Now
right.
I have to do my own hair.
Clearly, because I just scavenged everything we could.
I hear that if Malleolus is elected, he's gonna throw a small festival to celebrate, with entertainment and everything. Can't wait to find out what it is. Whatever you like. Alright, see ya.
Doesn't she have any goods? Show me her virus, Kachi.
Back again. Couldn't stay away.
No.
Alright.
Kachi doesn't have the virus you need. Fine.
You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of water, just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world.
Because she
So
doesn't
this
have to
place
with the coin.
accepts all the souls.
I have the coin.
but
Gaji
it does
doesn't
not
have the virus.
notice the crowds that come.
We
the
cannot
newly
tell
arrived
her
are
anything.
ignorant of the road before them.
Yeah. I don't know where Gallianus went. So I couldn't be bothered. Can we move her? No. Went back to work. Well, where does he work? He wasn't in the favela. Didn't steal anything, don't hurt anyone, don't. Okay. It's gonna be the theater. Yeah, that's the walkway from the other place. So it's all linking up. Right. That's probably the villa, isn't it? No, the villa is there. This is something else. Do we go there or do we go here first? Might go here first. medical tools. Collection of barbaric looking medical implements including forceps and shears. Some filth from the outside from the mosaic, yeah. Old chest. Nevia's treatment notes. Flatulence, syrup, ulcers, Giantiana, stomach pain, glucosia, rheumatism, willow bark, boils, aloe. Okay. We did have a key for that, it seems. Mortal and passive. I do want a hint for what to do if that powerful voice speaks again, like when he stole. Sure, I'm gonna talk to the magistrate eventually, I'm sure. I just don't know where he is, so it's gonna take me a while. But I'm not planning to do anything criminal, but it might happen. Statue of Apollo. Roman Greek god of disease and healing, amongst other things, yes. It's Athena's best.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called Silphium, but that Culus cumulatus Decius won't give it to me.
Silphium. I think I know what that plant is. It's the extinct one, right?
Just slipped away. No, now it's fine. I can't afford to wallow here, and I need the distraction. What's on your mind? She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat her with resin of Silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly." Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here, with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on apologizing.
Another 1,000
I'll
denarii
never
would be
know
great.
who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath.
Is she dead?
Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do. Get me that Silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day, or in the next
she's
hour.
already dead, okay.
And I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that Genetricum Fututo and scratching his eyes out.
Let's see what I can do.
Oh no. Sorry, I don't mean to worry you, but no, that is definitely not normal. There was one other person who claimed she could hear the statues talking to her. But that was Nevia, and she went a little mad.
Little?
Anything about what? Sure. What do you want to know? Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then surely they would have broken the golden rule, and so maybe it's best we don't discuss it. Hemlock, I believe.
Hemlock.
I haven't seen her in months. She's not allowed to leave Malleolas's villa, and they are quite secretive. Gladly. Well, come back if you get sick or injured. Day or night, I'll do what I can.
We don't even know who she is, or... Oh, okay. So she's dead. Yeah, okay. Well. This is the Odeon. Statue looked at me. The Myth of the Golden Rule by Deuteros the Younger. Spare custom, I shall begin by paying my respects to the god responsible for the city. For continued prosperity and tranquil seclusion, he deserves our admiration. But here I must depart from custom, for his attempt at imposing strength rule upon us is oppressive and overreaching, deserving of our contempt. Okay. Someone shit-talking the Golden Rule. Ulpius loves Scintilla, corrected to Ulpius killed Sentinel. Okay. Maybe that's why he committed suicide. But there's several pages, possibly. Oh yeah. Who amongst us has not awoken at night in a cold sweat, fearing some sort of accidental transgression of the Golden Rule? All of us must accept that we are all capable of error, whether from momentary lapse in judgment or a conscious decision based on faulty reasoning. Yet the great threat, the sword of Damocles that we live under, is, I believe, merely a deception, and I shall prove it to you. Let me begin by dismissing the counter-arguments. First, it may be argued that the inscription stating, "The many shall suffer for the sins of one," is evidence that the Golden Rule is very real, but is logically unsound, for we cannot assume the writers knew any more than we did. That this message was inscribed does not make it true any more than if I were to inscribe Deuteros the Younger as a god. Second, it may be argued that the statues in this place are evidence that the Golden Rule is real. You need not to remind me of that. It was I who discovered them all around the city. It was I who collected them, placed them in handcart, and placed them in the niches in which they sit today. I will not soon forget them, and yet I refuse to leap to the conclusion that they were once real people. There is simply no evidence to support that conclusion. When we read the story of Venus bringing Pygmalion's sculpture Galicia to life, we do not believe it is true. Why should we take a different view here? But ultimately these arguments are just that. After years of living in fear, there is only one way for me to prove that the Golden Rule is a falsehood, and that is through action. Friends, I apologize in advance for this, but one day you will see this moment as a turning point in our city's history. Let us once and for all see once and for all if the Golden Rule is real, as I strike one of you with my fist. Well, he's gold now. It is very real. If the okay, so it can read it for you. No, it's just like that. Okay. No, I don't think I have that much trouble reading that. We were here before. Can go this way, but let's check out this. Yeah. If it's like really scribbled, then it's gonna be horrible. Yeah, probably a good idea. Okay, this is where I came from. I think. Maybe not, we'll see.
Ove.
Hello? Hello?
Is this a slave?
My name's Dooley. I live here now because I got in trouble and they said they had to lock me up. I don't know. I don't remember things so good. I think it's just because I was looking for treasure. Yes. But I wasn't. I was just looking. They said I did it more than once, but I can't remember things so good. Then they called me mean names. They called me a liar, Billy.
Liability.
They said I have to live here now, and gave me this letter. But I'm not good with words. Do you think you could read it for me?
This dude isn't the sharpest pencil in the pencil case. That's for sure. Letter from Sentis to Tule. Reading mode.
What does it say?
One way to describe him, yeah. It says they caught you trespassing several times and they locked you up to stop breaking the golden rule.
My treasure! My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. But then, he died. It was very sad. He said if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure. But I couldn't find it.
Give me the key.
All I remember is he said something about the cisterns. But when I went up to the high one, they put me in here. Now nobody looks after me. Except my friend Galerius. And Ek, the priestess lady.
Go on, you get. It takes him ages.
Hannibal said I shouldn't give it to anyone I didn't trust. But maybe you could help me get out of here. Then I would trust you a lot.
What if your characters speak this slowly? Yeah, this is horrific.
Galerius already tried that. He said the magistrate wouldn't listen, no matter what.
The question is, why did this dude die from breaking the golden rule?
Like, Galerius? He's nice. I like Galerius. He made me a doll and everything. If you help make him magistrate, he can get me out of here, and I can give you the key to my treasure. Hannibal said it was in the cisterns. I can't remember what it was, just that it was way up high and very precious.
See what I can do. I don't want to talk to him.
Bye bye.
No. Doesn't solve anything. It's danger. No, no.
Bye bye.
Go away.
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit? Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess
Oh, she's a
without
Vestal
due formality or courtesy ask,
virgin.
what is your story? The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change. You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here?
Drag me out of their unconscious, sent me here.
And nothing about that name seemed odd to you.
It carries negative connotations from where I'm from.
Why is that?
Memes.
The memes? What are the memes?
You don't want to know.
So, a bit like Egyptian hieroglyphs then? So your people make hieroglyphics depicting this accursed character, the one they call Karen?
Yes.
I wonder if... No. I apologize. I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just that you've got me thinking. Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember, and see if you notice any patterns.
How does the game know? I joked about it earlier, but maybe it's so prevalent I'm not even aware of it.
Good. Thank you. But please be careful. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you too.
Just watching your stream, yeah.
Thank you. Now, go and follow the thread of truth through this labyrinth, and come back to me if you discover any patterns. I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We asked for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear it? It is rather long. Wonderful. It goes like this. Baucis and Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants. They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night. Of course, being vagrants, they're turned away sharply from house after house, 1,000 in all, until finally they come to the little cottage where Baucis and Philemon live. Now the kind old couple had very little to offer, but nevertheless, they invite these strangers into their house and offer them food, wine, and a place to stay. Immediately the guests make themselves at home. They begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that Baucis, the old lady, begins to worry they're going to run out. And then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher keeps refilling itself, as if by magic. Realizing only a select few possess such powers, says to her husband, Philemon, "I think these men are gods in disguise." Immediately the couple begins apologizing for offering such coarse wine, and the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to be Jupiter, the king of the gods, and Mercury, the trickster god. They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. Then Jupiter says to them, "You have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place and everyone in
Sounds
it,
like Gazel, right?
except you, who we will grant a wish."
Yeah, I think that's a
So
straight
old
quotation from
Baucis and Philemon
Metamorphoses.
escape up into the mountains safely, and they receive their wish, which is for eternity together. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through with his threat and wipes that city off the map. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests. But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves.
Instead, gods might kill you at any moment for failing that test, and they don't even have to tell you what the rules are. I mean, that's correct, but I don't want to piss her off. Yeah, let's do it.
A cynic philosopher might take that view, but it's not entirely invalid, I suppose.
No, I guess I'm a cynic philosopher. And it's what I was thinking, like, is cynicism bad? Because I think I'm kind of a cynic. I think it's associated with negativity a lot of the time, like, it's not a good character trait to be a cynic.
I don't, I'm afraid.
So I think it's like a
Seems to
realist
be we're
approach,
exiled
in a way.
until the gods judge us, one way or another. Come back to me once you've acquainted
I like
yourself with the
Equitia.
rest of our neighbors.
It's a nice character. Unlike that animal in the cage. I didn't want to speak to him ever again. Depends on circumstances. Many who are cynical also have a lot of personal experiences of life. Yeah. So I guess it would be opposite to naivety.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I need to ask him about how he came here, right? No, we asked what his story already, but he didn't really tell us yet. No, go away.
Bye-bye.
Back out. Go this way.
Don't you just love springtime?
I did not do it, Dooley. Great. Oh, there's this guy that comes and goes. That's Galerius? Yeah, he comes to visit him, okay.
It's you again. Hope you're settling in, friend.
Well, I promised I'll follow you, and I didn't.
Well, it's a long one, and kind of sad, but I don't mind telling it. I'm a farmer. Always have been. I grew up in a small village in Britannia, Camulodunum, with my parents and 2 little sisters. Lovely
Small village of Camulodunum.
One day, when I was about 20, my father and I were in the top paddock, loading our cart, when some Roman legionaries came along, demanding produce for their men. My father told me to run into the house for his axe, and so I did. I sprinted so fast I almost threw up.
Roman armies paid for their food in friendly territory.
Bleeding out on the ground, and our cart was empty. That was my first encounter with the legions.
But yeah, individual, you could run into some assholes, so it could happen.
And things went downhill from there. I took over the farmstead.
But the soldiers would be flogged for this.
It was a struggle. More raiding started before too long. We'd come outside in the morning to find animals missing, our stores pillaged. These legion thugs just took whatever they wanted. One night, when my sisters and I had nothing left to steal, there was a knock at the door. I knew who they were, and what they wanted. I got my father's old axe, pulled the door open real quick, and before that soldier knew it, split his face right down the middle. But there were more of them.
You will not make a good magistrate.
I saw how many. Because the next thing I knew, I was waking up with a mouth full of dirt and lungs full of smoke. My home was reduced to ash. My sisters, dead. And they left me alive to see what they'd done.
There's some issues, I haven't touched him much.
Still burns whenever I think about it. Yeah, well, I wasn't the only one this happened to. It wasn't long before Boudica led thousands of Britons in a rebellion against the Romans. Unfortunately, there were just too many of them. And those of us who survived, they enslaved.
I'm gonna tell you something after this is done.
And I found myself being transported all the way to Rome to be sold to the highest bidder.
Already cringing so hard.
My new master, learning the Romans' ways, Romanized my name and everything. Tried to escape a couple of times, but they always found me.
Yeah, so he was a local. Makes sense. I was thinking he was a Roman citizen before.
Stampedes breaking out.
With the first encounter with the legionaries.
An enormous fire broke out in
The
Rome.
chick said,
Everybody was running down toward the river, screaming and shouting. I'd never seen anything like it. Human beings acting like cattle. I got swept up with them somehow, and the rest is a blur. The next thing I knew, some stranger was dragging me out of a river. Stumbled across this place, and I started my life over again. That's what I thought too, for a while. But it seems the gods aren't done tormenting me yet. See, I finally had my own farm again, safe from the grasping hands of the Romans. Or so I thought. Until Sentius the Decurion demanded I hand over all my produce. It's for the good of us all, he says. Only he takes the best bits for himself, of course. He even told me if I refuse his demands, I'll break the Golden Rule. I'm not sure I believe him, but then, what if he's right? So, it turns out our dear old magistrate is no better than the Legion thugs who took everything from me. I'm right back where I began. But don't you worry, Nemesis is waiting, and he'll get his, one day. He'll get his. Forget I said that last part, will you? I get carried away sometimes.
Yeah, definitely not a magistrate material. What did I want to talk about before we proceed with this? Oh yeah, his interpretation of the Boudica rebellion in Britain. Damn Romans, there were too many of them. Well, do you guys know anything about that particular incident between the locals and the Romans? You don't. Well, it was when Nero was an emperor, and already Britain has been settled by Romans quite a bit. There were quite a few settlers, about 500,000 maybe, from Roman Empire settled on the Isle, while the locals still had majority. And what happened was the Romans were basically, just to sum it up, Boudica was a queen of one of the tribes, which was the Iceni, which was the biggest Britannic tribe under the Roman rule in Britain. And when her husband died, the king of Iceni, he made a will that said that all the territory of the Iceni people will be inherited by the Roman emperor. And this was meant to be the peaceful way of transferring the Iceni people and integrate them into the Roman populace. However, the Romans instead did the thing where they just went into the Iceni villages after the king died and the will came to pass, and freely took supplies and enslaved people. And the Iceni people took offense to that, and Boudica was one of the victims where they did hurt her physically, and they also raped her daughters. And she conspired with other chieftains of Britannic tribes on the island, which they also had their reasons for joining the rebellion. So Iceni didn't even, that year they didn't even plant crops or anything like that. They just made weapons and planned for war. The Romans were kind of stupid for not realizing this was happening. Like, they totally should have seen this coming. Like, they are preparing for like half a year, but they didn't. And so the Britons amassed a huge army, and they started going city to city, burning everything to the ground. Not even that, but one of the most horrific descriptions of violence that are from the ancient world are actually from this period, where they killed them in most horrific ways you could imagine. Disembowelments alive, impaling people on spits, roasting them on fire, making them consume their own flesh, things like that. And the Romans were severely outnumbered in these circumstances. Each city has a garrison of like 500 troops at most, and usually a lot of them vigiles as well. And so in one of the cities, the Britons raised temples when they found them, of course, and all that. In one of the cities, I think it was Camalodunum, the Roman guards actually enclosed most of the people who were still alive in the temple and guarded it for, I think, at least a week, maybe a little more. But eventually the siege was won by the Iceni and just slaughtered absolutely everyone. And they went from place to place doing this. And at that point in time, the Britain was under military command, or it was actually under the governor of... There was one guy who was commanding the legions on a campaign at that point. He was actually doing an excursion to the... I think he was going to the Isle of Man, which is between Britain and Ireland. And they had some of their own experiences, which I'm not gonna talk about because that's on a chapter of their own. But when he came back, he realized that this was happening, and so he tried to rush to stop this rebellion, but it has grown to such extent that he was outnumbered like 5-1, and it was growing at each day. And so he just went on to all the other cities that were still remaining, and told all the people to abandon the cities and come with him. Soldiers were recruited into the army, and civilians were told to just go on, because eventually he just realized that he didn't have enough men to stop this rebellion, which was absolutely massive at that point. And most of the Iceni were at that point equipped with Roman weapons as well. So it was no longer just a horde of barbarians. They had quite a lot of equipment actually. And they didn't have very good training, but regardless. The Romans thought they didn't have a chance, so the governor told the civilians to head off until they reached the coast, at which point they should try to get ships and evacuate from Britain, while he made his last stand. He managed to beat the Britons, but it was only due to choosing a very careful and well-selected battlefield, and then funneled the Iceni in such a way that they just couldn't break through the heavy Roman infantry and were slaughtered. The Iceni at the last battle also got wagons to observe the battlefield in their back lines, which prevented them fleeing later, which caused much more destruction because they just caused a traffic jam, and the Romans just killed everything that lived, even the animals, everything they could find at that point. And it was actually, it almost ruined the colonization of Britain by Romans. It killed so many Romans that Nero considered abandoning the island, but in the end they did keep it. But it was absolutely insane. So yeah, that's what's the story about the Britain. That's why I find it ridiculous. Like, there are so many Romans. Well, shit ton more Iceni, but yeah. And hello, Frankie, welcome. Every Roman's favorite bedtime story. I'm not sure if it's favorite bedtime story for Romans, since the most horrific shit happened to them, but you know. It's not a story, it happened. It's from the reports of the governor back to the emperor and what happened. And there is also his report on the battle is, we only suffered minor casualties, but historians evaluate that it was at least several thousand men dead, because then suddenly Nero ordered transfer of several more thousand men from the empire to Britain, even though Britain at that point had severely reduced population, so it shouldn't have been necessary to keep as large garrison anymore.
Thanks, friend. I knew I liked you. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Was there something else you wanted to talk about? Well, as much as I'd love to get out of here, the harvest's always more fruitful in another man's field, isn't it? But Scintilla, Sentius' daughter, went missing a few weeks back. Could be she found a way out. If anyone knows for sure, it'll be her sister, Sentia. But she'd never tell the likes of me.
Ulpius is dead.
Oh, I don't give it much thought these days. I mean, everybody here's got their own view about what we need to do to survive. But I say, let's spend less time arguing about what it means to be good and just get on with it, you know? I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never gonna do it. But from what I hear, Malleolus has the election stitched up. Nobody's gonna take him on and win. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. That's good enough for me. I suppose you're right.
I'll be going.
See you around.
Okay. There's a lot of talking. Brass mirror. Brass has been polished into rudimentary mirror, which has been used for applying makeup. Yeah. Cosmetic jar. Brass jar containing some sort of powder for makeup. Yep. It's a fancy container. Check the theater real quick. Galanus is going this way. There's a podcast from BBC History very recently about Boudica. Was there? I didn't listen to that. But yeah, she took her own life in the end. I think she poisoned herself. Also, it's strange how Iceni, they actually were known for using chariots, but during the last battle and during battles with Romans during the uprising, they didn't actually use chariots all that much. Part of it being they were highly inefficient against Roman tactics, and in general just pretty crappy weapon at that point in history. Like, it's more of a Bronze Age thing. chariots. I seen you were one of the last people to use them. Some Germans used them as well when they were fighting Caesar, along with their king Ariovistus. He was a fan of chariots. But it didn't help him much, they weren't very good.
Help! You have to do something! A man
What's that?
arrived in the baths. A real nasty sort, with his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon. I have to do something, or he's gonna break the golden rule. None of us do. The magistrate made us throw them all into the chasm. So now this man's bow is the only one in the city. You'll just have to improvise. Thank you. He's still in there, somewhere. I have to hide. Find me in this empty shrine when it's over. Hear what? What? We don't have time for this. I have to go. Ugh.
So, is he supposed to be in there?
The shrine is collapsing.
Well, she's dead. Can you see the roof? It doesn't seem like... No, I'm a little bit lost. Do we have a map? No, we don't. Of course not. Loaf of bread. You can just take it. Appears to be fairly available to anyone who wants it. Okay.
Fabia, no! Oh God, she's dead! Did anyone see that? The whole shrine just collapsed on her. Oh Fabia, why did you have to go in there? Poor sweet girl.
Bust. Sculpture of an unknown Greek general. His helmet pulled off his head. Yep. Greek vase painted with purple, with people and geometric shapes. Okay. Greek statue of a woman. Greek statue, probably of the goddess or to whom this temple is dedicated. Perhaps a local Greek resident knows more about her. Okay, this was probably the guy who was yelling. There's a little doggy door. Okay, inspect an oil lamp. Sun has been through here recently. Vase. It's quite nice. So exploring. Yeah, I mean, it's overwhelming. Like, people want me to do various things, but I just get lost by running around the... Oh, it wants me to quick save. That's not very good, is it? Means I'm gonna die. Crumbling in sculpture of a woman. Clearly this has been here for a long time. Okay. Lyre. Greek lyre. Played by being strummed with a splectrum. And the best. So much art. Don't go into the chasm. This is sprawling. I haven't really been to the proper city yet.
Join me by the fire.
Stranger, hanging fish. Nutrients in these fish must have helped the old man compensate for the lack of sunlight. The golem. Stranger.
Welcome, welcome. May I ask your name? It's a sincere pleasure to meet you. Tell me, What brings you all the way down here?
By the way, Fairby, I think we already fucked up. I think we shouldn't have gone to see the guy who jumped off the cliff yet. Because I'm supposed to ask him questions, and if I visited the rest of the city first, I would have known to say, like, did you kill this person? And then he might not have jumped. Or we could at least decipher that. So, wouldn't it be best to just, you know, restart? Found this place by accident.
Then perhaps the fates brought you here to learn the
Don't
secrets
restart, okay.
of this place. I will tell you everything I know, but first, a request. I have been living down here alone for many years, with nobody to talk to but myself. The one thing I long for above all else before I die is a good philosophical argument with somebody astute. I'm hoping that person is you. Let us find out with this simple question. Have you deduced the name of the god responsible for the Golden Rule? You have much to learn. It's best if you figure it out on your own. Come back once you've made progress.
Another liar. He lives in a bathtub. That reminds me of Diogenes, but eccentric bad, yeah. Don't want to spoil anything, okay. It's just frustrating.
Ah, you've returned.
No, I haven't. I've not left yet. Oh, it's here again. Okay. Right. Yeah, I don't need to. Oh, it's just tips, right. Yeah, it's loading up the next segment of the map. It's not without loading screens, so this was a small little loading segment, I guess. Can you crouch through there? Don't tell me I'm stuck. No, it's fine. Just needed to jump. Broken croquetter. I think somebody broke these under when it passed. Okay. Yeah, the whole temple is kinda fucked up. Priestess. This is where yeah, this is where she was. Maybe it's late or she's somewhere else, I'm not sure. It's the marketplace, I guess. Collection of dice. Dice for coloring clothes. These appear to have been extracted from plants and insects, yes. What are the colors? Purple, blue and red. The most expensive ones there are in the ancient world. It's a very fancy bed as well. A fancy trunk. What about its lock? It doesn't have a lock. Good. And it's a fancy shop. I'm not gonna steal. Accused for a note. Virgil, do you really want to be responsible for the sin that destroys us all? Roman anvil. It looks odd without a horn, but it must be more modern innovation. Yep. Just a block of iron. Bellows. So we're blowing air into the furnace. I'll raise the heat. I think they're very familiar with the technology for that. Shovel. The Roman fire shovel made of bronze. It smells like ash. It's a broken piece of furniture. He's probably repairing that. We're not gonna steal. What is this? Oh, that's another note. It's the same thing. Okay. I'm up for display for anyone to see, yeah, clearly. Anyone to steal. But that is the golden rule. Nobody's gonna steal, right? I think that's what they were trying to do. Is the golden rule communism, Fairby? Kinda sounds like communism to me. Oh yeah. Toilets. Communal public toilets. These holes must be designed for use with a sponge and a stick, yes. Sponge stick. Small stick with a sponge attached. This material that Romans used instead of toilet paper and to wisdom commonly used. Best put this back immediately, yes. And basins. Always remember they are watching. Ventilation. Yeah. Surely. Because it seems like that's what they went with. It's like Big Brother is watching, yeah. No, I mean, like, there is no crime if we have a giant overseer that kills everyone who commits any sort of crime. You know, then we don't have to have worries, but it's against human nature. Like, humans will be humans. Always. So any sort of arbitrary rule like this is not gonna work to correct society. Did I come through here before? I probably did, I'm confused. There's so many places to go, I'm getting really lost. Should we go here? I think we should go and take care of the bad people. I just don't have a weapon. Fountain. Fountain producing fresh water. Where could the water be coming from? From an aqueduct, of course. Bucket. Wooden bucket looks like the owner dropped it while fetching water and Dracula never picked it up again. If I could take it, then I could just put it over the face of someone and steal their stuff. I'm sure of it. It always works at a default IRL. A bit more clear over time, yeah. How long is the game, by the way? I feel like I've just barely scratched the surface. And we've been here for 3 hours. But then again, I'm listening to all the ramblings, so... You know, it's probably part of it. Seek a bow. I do have some arrows now. Notes from Navia. I'm locking myself in, don't worry. Don't try to follow me, nothing good will come of it. Navia. Varies quite a bit. You have listened to a lot and rather a lot already, yeah. And so I'm saying I'm listening to all the ramblings, so it's probably way slower than someone else would play it. But again, this is not a game that you want to just rush. I don't think. Nice sofa. there a plaque? No. Is this gonna lead to the temple? Yeah. I think I might have something to tell to her. She's not here. Not anymore. If you happen to hear that powerful voice again, go back to the shrine where you entered. Like there? But I did hear it already. I'm hearing it constantly. It is constantly bitching at me. I guess you can do that. No, it doesn't. Oh, you mean the powerful one, the one where you steal something or you break the golden rule. That's the one you mean. Yeah, got a little bit crispy. Okay. Really have. This is where we started. I haven't talked to the magistrate yet. But also we need the bathhouse. So there's a stranger in there.
I have committed no crimes. This is madness.
His sentence: to fight for his life in gladiatorial combat against Domitius. Here and now for your entertainment.
You have no idea what you're doing. You're going to get us all killed.
Wait. I exercise my right as a Vestal priestess to pardon him. I will not allow you to do this.
You're showing your true colors now, priestess. Your corruption sickens me. Domitius, ignore her. Proceed.
This is insanity. You'll doom us all.
Lies! It is time the Golden Rule was exposed for what it is. A children's fable, exploited by a treacherous leader to instill fear in all of us.
This is why he's in his gladiator gear. They've been planning this all along.
Shut up, all of you. The magistrate has spoken. I'm going to enjoy killing you, old man.
The many
shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Stop! As magistrate, I command you to stop!
You were wrong!
It's making everyone golden, great. I should run? I can run. But... everyone's dead! Ouch. Are we gonna get a fresh start with everyone still alive when we come back? And you have a limited time to do things in? Is it like a death loop sort of scenario?
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina? I don't.
So we have to repeat conversations. It's kind of frustrating, though.
Before in my life.
Your name is Galerius, and you are about to offer me to take a sentence so you can tell me about the Golden Rule.
I guess how much did I drink last night? Sorry to have bothered you.
No problem. I have to go.
Oh, and since you seem to be in a hurry, you should try out this device I made. Worked real hard on it.
Give me the hook. Yes. Take it.
Just attach the pulley to the rope over the lake and hang on to the handles. If it works, it'll be faster than walking.
Does all the gold respawn? And do I keep my items?
What will happen is you'll take a swim in the lake. I haven't quite summoned the courage to test it myself. But don't worry, it's completely safe. Probably. All right. See you around.
There's only one way to find out. So, yeah. Okay. It's time for the grind. I don't know what money is for. I think 2 people wanted 1,000, but we probably will get that quite quickly. I have 1,600 already. And we have some vine as well. Oh well. I wanted to figure out... I guess the leaves are still not something I can traverse. I can do the ropes though. Which ropes lead to places... Is it by the lake or not? I'm not sure. This would take me there. Yeah, I don't think I can do the leaves yet. The leaves are probably requiring something else. And so each day you have a limited time until that happens, I guess, right? Until they have the trial and then everything gets fucked up.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold braying.
Getting this through quickly. Yeah, that's what it appears to be. So I have no indication when it's gonna happen though. I don't think. It's the cannonball pool. Groundhog Day only without Bill Murray. Bill Murray? Who is that? I was thinking for a moment you mean Sean Murray, but that's the developer of No Man's Sky, but that's the only Murray I know of. I can have Sophium and save the person. Market stall.
How'd you do?
Decius, is that the merchant? I need Sophium.
And welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. I'm Decius. Certainly. All I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii. Oh, you have it. I'm impressed.
Bottle of Sophium resin, an extremely valuable ancient Roman remedy for various afflictions.
Pleasure doing business. Can I help you with anything else?
I'm gonna be going, I'm gonna be back, but not yet. So yeah, you have like a day, so it's like a death loop sort of scenario. Where is the temple? She's gonna want to go inside the temple and die. We need to save everyone. I think the temple is this way. No, I'm in the caves. At least we can take some schmeckles. Where is the temple? Where is the... Yeah, Temple of Apollo Hospital or whatever you would call it. I kind of get confused a lot. I wish I had a map or something. If it's through here, then she's gonna die.
Help! You have to do something. A man arrived in the baths.
Yeah.
Nasty.
We heard that already.
Thank you. I have to hide. Find me in this empty shrine when it's over.
Don't go in there.
What? Why? All right, fine. Come and find me in my bakery instead. Please be careful.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna go in there and die. We've had a Shawn Michaels at the moment. Do we risk? Let's see what happens. Yep. had to test it. That's why you save the video game. Okay, still kill you. Fine. Even more better. Previously it was like, yeah, it fell on my ankle, but now it's just like completely shreked. Fine. It's a common toilet. I need to find a hospital. I don't remember where it was. Is it here? No, this is a new area. This is a bathhouse, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, bugger. Where do we go? It must be around here somewhere. I just completely forgot. Oh, it's here. I think I know. Yeah. Sylphium, hurry.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called sylphium. What? Quick, give it here. Yulia, you need to swallow this. Here, let me help you. Hopefully, in a moment, she should be able to breathe normally. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing? And at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle? Ah, look. If you don't want to tell me, I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. But no matter. That was like the gods hearing my prayers and intervening. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. She might even be able to thank you herself in a few moments. And maybe she can tell us who poisoned her, and who she meant when she was muttering about that snake's cruel black eyes. In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with whatever it is you need. I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been filling in ever since.
Just a random person doing healing.
I'm tired and out of my depth and miserable all the time. But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up. My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked, and turned into an awful philanderer. I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my right. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our
So she's also cynical.
I
Well,
our most precious belongings, coins and gemstones, and the moment his back was turned, I ran. I could barely see for the smoke.
she actually told the similar sort of thing with the Sylphium before, but it's not cynical, it's just
and leapt in.
self-righteous.
The next thing I remember, I was
you know.
waking up on a riverbank, not far from here.
She seemed like she doesn't care much for the law. If she could get away with it, she would totally steal the Sylphium. Which, if the only thing in society holding you from committing crimes is the immediate lethal punishment, then something's wrong with the society. Yeah.
It's alright. Say what you will about this place. At least my fornicating husband will never find me. And while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least with the golden rule, they have to try to be discreet about it.
And Frank says, I just had to Google if Bill Murray is still alive. Turns out he is. He's best known for movies like Ghostbusters, Groundhog Day, and Larger Than Life. Okay. I did see Ghostbusters, I think, the old ones, that is, when I was a kid, but I don't remember the movie too well. Is it the director or is he an actor? It's probably a director, right? Actor, okay. Oh, sorry, I'm very bad with names, and since I don't watch many movies, I don't actually care or remember any many names from Hollywood celebrities is just not my thing. I like immediately forget a vast majority of them.
Oh, this shrine was in use as a clinic long before any of us arrived here. Kind of strange to set up a clinic in the temple of the god of disease. But the god who inflicts a curse is also the only god who can undo it. So I suppose praying to Apollo for healing kind of makes sense. Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician.
He's
was the closest
very recognizable as an actor. Okay.
And she was good too.
You recognize him?
Okay.
Okay.
All interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying. But I had no idea what she was talking about.
Yeah, she's locked in the temple.
The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since.
Now, I have a question for
so
you.
long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of
I need her to stop bitching it.
Rheumatism. His joints are inflamed, and he's in constant pain. I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like it. And he's a little bit scary. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off. And I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing out. And you know what that means. I just know Nevia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into
I found a scroll which says treatment for rheumatism. Yeah.
You did? That's unexpected. But tell me, what is it? Willowbark. I should have known. It was under my nose the whole time.
It was in your building,
That's very
in fact.
helpful. Thank you. If this works, it should settle Rufius down some. I have some right here. Could you do me a favor and give him some of this? He'll just need to swallow a pinch of it. I'm hoping it will avert disaster.
Rufius. Unlock chest in this building. Okay, yeah. Willowbark, good.
Thank you. I'm really glad you arrived when you did. That's a shame. Thanks again for saving Yulia's life. Apollo smiles upon you.
I wanted to say something. Oh yeah, if we get another situation where the game is going to make the golden statues appear and kill everyone, and we run back to the temple, we get back. Do I have to buy the Sylphium again and save her again, or if I save someone like that once, is it gonna persist? Because everything else seems to not persist. So that would be really annoying, because 1000 denarii actually is quite a bit for me right now.
Salve. Oh, it's you. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. But thanks for trying to help me, I suppose.
Was very
there
grateful.
Something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
Yeah, who tried to poison you?
As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to talk about it.
So you do it over and over
No more
again.
questions.
I'll be skipping a lot of the dialogue then, if it's repetition, you know. Because I'm not listening to everything all over again, because it's gonna be several days we'll have to repeat, most likely.
The golden rule. That's the least of my worries. The gods may be cruel, but Malleolus and Claudia are far crueler.
Okay.
Please, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it.
I saved you, just rat it out.
Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? I can tell you, but it's a long saga. All right. I'd been here about a week when it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe, and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price. 1,000 denarii. She was supposed to be my friend. I told her it would take me years to save up that much. So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus. And I did.
So that's the way out.
I had to sign an agreement, saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so soon it wouldn't matter. I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her so-called way out.
Poison.
Do you want to know what it was?
It
Hemlock.
was poison. Hemlock. What the fuck is hemlock? I don't know the translation for that. Some sort of herb, I guess. Oh no. I don't want to ask this because I'm gonna seem like a... Yeah, okay.
It's a deadly poison made from a plant. Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with those cruel black eyes and she laughed. She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only, he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact, he just thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning. That's what I said to the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years and there was nothing he could do. I thought about resisting too.
Hello, Jake. Welcome.
But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd
We
break
cannot.
the golden rule. And I couldn't be responsible for all those deaths, so he locked me in his villa.
She's not very likable.
Confiscated everything
I can
I
understand
owned
why
as
you would do that, especially
and
as
made me wear
Henry's come to see us Shank Hobo
humiliating outfits while I
Electric
worked
Boogaloo.
day in,
But
day
no,
out.
this is not a game
His
like
wife
that.
Claudia was just as bad. She sent me to work on an endless stream of futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours, only for her to pour slop on it and hiss, "You missed a spot."
What a shame.
She took everything from me.
Oh, it's an
But they
exploration
forgot to
storytelling game.
confiscate one thing. My hemlock. I just wanted it to be over. But it seems I messed that up too.
There is apparently some combat in it, and I did collect some doge, but the only way to spend denarii was to buy Sylphium, which was used to heal this person. Julia is bad at her job and trying to get out of contract she agreed to, of course. But also it's like stupid, her reasoning, I'm gonna explain it, just need to finish the conversation.
I brought it on myself.
Yep.
I trusted one of the most callous human beings I've ever met, and tried to swindle the other. I don't know how I could have been so stupid.
Well, just pay off that debt, it's gonna be fine.
When I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come for me. He'll escort me back to their villa, and I'll be right back where I started. Only this time, I won't be able to lull myself to sleep at night with the thought of a permanent solution. Honestly, it would have been better if the poison had been allowed to run its course. I doubt it. It seems this is the fate the gods have chosen for me, for trying to escape. At least until someone breaks the golden rule. Huh. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad. A lot. But it doesn't matter.
I made a suicide pact with Ulpius.
Ah, that's what why Ulpius
He's
jumped
in
off.
exactly the same position as I am. Malleolus and Aurelius set the same trap for him a month after they did it to me. He and I are in this together. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's villa by now. If so, I'd never be able to live with myself, knowing I broke my promise to him. I doubt you could make it up to the bluff in time. I don't know who you are, or why you seem so determined to help me, but thank you.
Okay, so what was I about to say? Hey Baron, welcome. What's this? It's an exploration storytelling game with a Roman theme, but it is sort of a fantasy. It doesn't actually have a specific Roman city in mind. Instead, it's just made up all of it, and it has a caveat to it, which I'm not gonna elaborate on in case you want to play through it yourself. I think it's interesting. It's interesting how they did a lot of the things right. Like, of course, you have a whole bunch of stuff that's just completely ridiculous. Like this city is all inside of some sort of cave, which does have a single entry point with light, which is like a huge city with marble columns, and there is even a palace and villas and everything, which is ridiculous. But like the menial items in people's households and all the art and things like that are actually pretty well done. Like, it's spot on to the things that we have as artifacts from Roman times, and the best preserved ones. And so they did their research. The game does pretty well job in making the surroundings really nice. Some of the stuff is inaccurate, but so far I'm impressed with it, I have to say. And something I wanted to say, oh yeah, there is what's the deal with the pact? Like, there is a tavern keep person. It's a lady who sells poison to people as a way out of the city by getting 1,000 denarii that she entices people who are desperate to get as a loan from the loan shark. But if the people take the poison and die, what's the point? Like, the loan shark's not gonna get his money. It's just transferring the loan money to the lady at the tavern, and the loan shark is helping and thanking the lady for doing that. There must be something else to it, I guess, because currently it just doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah. Okay, we need to try and save the derp. Horatius, I don't have time.
Fresh meat, huh?
Domitius, do you need the willow
isn't
bark?
receiving visitors at the moment, it being election day. Whatever. Just remember, I'll be watching.
Citizen.
Didn't find any money in a while, but we need to get up, stop him jumping down. It's a death trap. Yeah, but the poison works. It killed her if I didn't save her. You know? That's the stupid part. Like, it really works. It's an actual poison. If it wasn't a poison, then yeah. But it's a freaking poison. You don't get a death trap out of someone dying.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the Golden Rule.
Hey, Christian.
Ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far?
Great. I'm gonna go.
All right. Well, it was lovely to meet you. I
That
look forward to
transfers to the
getting to know you
next
better
life.
over the coming
Next level business
Did you
strats.
ever-
Clearly. Come on, Ulpius, talk to me, bugger.
No. Ulpius, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please,
And this suicide for a
just
bit.
think this through.
Yeah.
If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
Encouraging
I'm
birds.
sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Please, Ulpius. Help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. I don't know what to do. I've never had to deal with this sort of thing. Please, you need to talk to him. Thank you. And please, choose your words carefully.
You know about that? How is that possible? I mean, I've never mentioned it to anyone. Well, if you say so. You don't understand. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want it all to be over. It's too late for that. Yulia and I made a pact, and she's already swallowed hemlock this morning. If I backed out now, I'd be betraying her. I can't do that. Oh,
this.
Really? That changes things a little. But we're still in debt bondage to that monster. Unless you happen to have...
I don't have that kind of money, I don't think. We just bought the Sylphian with 1,000.
No. No.
Time's up.
Time's up. I am out. Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no!
We need 2,000. Okay. Well, it's a lot of money. You know, I already gave the 1,000 to the market people.
Oh Lord. That poor lamb.
Well.
I'll have to let everyone know what happened. And I guess Malleolus will have
There he goes again.
in his villa. It's of his own making, after all. And
It's a lot of money. A lot of schmeckles. What can I say? I will try to scrounge up some schmeckles, I guess, so that next day we can have a better solution to this. Also, if I pay that off one time, does it mean that he's not gonna do it next time? Because that would be really good. I want to do this again. If I pay the debt off once. Buyer's freedom, whatever you call it. It's a trap, I shouldn't be here. You cannot get to it. The money is a lie. Can go this way now. I don't remember where I got some of the money. I guess the caves and maybe some of the houses. Magistrate next? We could, yeah. I haven't talked to him like ever. Alright. I need more schmeckles, though. Okay, let's go this way. Actually, this way. Just gonna collect the stuff from the crate. Doesn't it make sense to explore first before you try to make a speedrun to a day? Yeah. It does. But then again, like, getting these little solutions is important because you get next piece of information from them, like with the lady in the temple. Without that, I wouldn't know about that guy, you know? Like, yes and no. I think it would be good to try and get the bow, but maybe we talk to the magistrate, I don't know. So, is this the guy?
Are they?
Magistrate Sentis.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name? A curious name to match a curious accent.
What a Brian reference, that would be
I see you
maybe.
have the piercing and astute eyes of Athena. You must be a woman of great learning. We're always happy to welcome another scholar to our little community. Equitia will be delighted to meet you, I'm sure. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago.
All I'm thinking is we shouldn't be talking to the prefect, because if he doesn't make the rounds, everything's gonna explode. But that's just a feeling. It's beautiful.
More importantly, consider the miraculous community
From
we've built
Chimera's spelling.
over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin? Well, I'm not sure I believe that. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying.
Keep an eye out for
If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die. You see, the builders of
Some
this
backstory
place,
to the final.
whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions. Please, ask away.
Okay.
An intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries. I'm glad you agree. The key things to remember are that we have laws forbidding treason and blasphemy, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson and so on. I have made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you.
Okay. What did you say?
You see, in my search for a way to save my people,
a lot of reading today. I'm getting kind of tired of.
To Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. It's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it and travel back to the past. And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. You don't belong in our time, do you?
Nope.
2,000 years? That is unfathomable.
Yeah, we'll have to call it soon. But I want to at least listen to him until we are done for the day.
What has become of us, of this city? I have imagined it, our downfall, 1,000 times, but it still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it. Well, I believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal.
Yeah, sure.
As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends. I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today's election.
Yep.
The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. You shouldn't have that problem, though, unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot. All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina. I stumbled across instructions. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved. Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal. In this case, the sacrifice is rather more costly. The life
Human
of the person
sacrifice?
performing the ritual.
There's only one example of
suppose you
Romans
saw any
going
sign
ahead
of
with a human sacrifice.
in the future? I assume that was me. If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it, won't you? Well, I suppose that's all I can ask for. Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is anymore? What's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better. If I understand Proserpina's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if I can explain. If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the Golden Rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you should be flung back to your own time, having changed the past for all of us.
Butterfly effect.
Makes sense? Ah, good. So, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the Golden Rule? Wonderful. Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them if it'll win their trust. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come back and tell me.
Who the fuck is Rufus? Rufus is the guy we are supposed to give the willow bark to. I just don't know who he is and where is he. I know. But not for money. I always leave the stealing items there, you know, I never steal. But if it's a document, I will take it, because the game says you can, even before you meet Magistrate Centers.
Thank you, and good luck
Which kind of makes sense, I guess. It's just, maybe it would be better if it was a little more railroaded at the start, because I was totally like doing the investigation even without him telling me to. Rufus? Horatius? Who the fuck is Rufus?
Citizen.
You do get a chance to correct it like this. Yeah, Domitius, that's not it. It must be someone somewhere else. Rufus, is it someone in the actual city? I think it might be the merchant. Yeah, Domitius doesn't care.
Wonder how much one of these statues is worth on the outside.
Make sure you stay away from that empty shrine. It's going to collapse at any moment.
Is it a German accent? Interesting. Thanks for trying it out. You really gave it a fair shot. Watching your comments on the history were great. Okay, thanks for buying. Thanks for gifting me the game. Yeah, I do enjoy it. But overall, it's a variety stream. So I'll be holding a poll in the Discord if you want to see more of it. Because unless you do, there is no reason to play it just for myself. You know, we have a stream to run. So that's gonna be it for this stream today. I've been reading a lot, so my eyes are tired. But I'll be sending you on to raid someone else. So we can just wait a second. There is absolutely no one. Oh, FG's is playing something. Super Mario Galaxy. Okay, it's something completely different, but let's go with it. Yeah. Thanks again. See you around. Bye.